Hello there, guys. Welcome back to the Stamford Voice for your Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1 match review in a match where the world champions beat the English champions. Wow. What a fantastic performance. What a fantastic result for Chelsea. Chelsea get 3 points and move straight into position 6 of the Premier League table after beating the English champions in Liverpool. Now, let us break this game down. As I always say, it's always beautiful to create a fantastic Chelsea family here where we discuss outcomes such as this, where we beat the English champions. Now, let's break this game down. Now, when this game started, I really questioned that lineup because having Benoit Badiashile and Josh Achampong in that defense, especially coming up against Liverpool, was quite scary. But oh my God, those two guys had a fantastic performance that in that defense, especially in the first half. Before, of course, sadly they all went off with an injury. Now, I still questioned why. Alejandro Garnacho started ahead of Estêvão Willian. And guess what? This all turned out beautifully because Enzo Maresca is a fantastic manager. Tell me why starting Alejandro Garnacho was quite beautiful, because he was quite attacking wise, he was quite bright and caused those Liverpool defenders a lot of problems, and then brings on Estêvão Willian later on, who gets the winner in the 95th minute. This was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night for Chelsea. And now, let us look at the events that took place in this particular game, because in the first 5 minutes of this match, Liverpool were all over us. I mean, I watched the first 5 minutes and I'm wondering, are we going to concede 5 goals in this match? Because the intensity that Liverpool started with was over the roof, and Chelsea were quite struggling to maintain that. And I was worried in the first 5 minutes, and then after that it became Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea for 90 minutes, by the way, because the kind of intensity that we had in this particular game against Liverpool did not go down even one single minute. Of course, Liverpool is Liverpool. They have very fantastic players. You saw that in the assist that Isaac gave to Gakpo. I mean, a set piece, a weird assist, but again led to Liverpool equalizer. But overall, Chelsea were on top of Liverpool for over 90 minutes. And I think there's a thing about Chelsea and Enzo Maresca that we always love playing big teams. I mean, nobody thought we would beat PSG, but we beat them properly. Nobody thought we would beat Liverpool tonight, but we beat them squarely. Now, Moisés Caicedo scores in the 14th minute, and that was a fantastic shot. That was a goal that he created on his own, outside the box. And I think this season Moisés Caicedo could easily get 10 goals, because the kind of strikes that he make, even the second strike that he made, of course, he almost slid and didn't make contact with the ball properly, but the strikes that Moisés Caicedo makes, those are match-winning strikes. I mean, when that goal went in the 14th minute, I knew that Chelsea were finally in business. Not because of the goal alone, but because of the dominance that we had against Liverpool. Now, in the second half, of course, we knew that Liverpool would come at us with all they've got, and they actually did that. But to be fair to us, we contained them properly, because most of the chances they had, let's be fair, most of their players were poor in finishing tonight, especially Mo Salah. Mo Salah had a very, very, very poor game. I don't think even Mo Salah had even one shot on target. Most of his shots were over the bar, at least 3 that I can remember on top of my head. Szoboszlai, again, finishing was quite poor. McAllister tried, but their finishing was quite poor. So they had a few chances, and even when you look at the statistics, the expected goals for Liverpool, I think I saw like their expected goals were a little bit like I think the expected goals were around 1.77. Okay, yeah, expected goals for Liverpool was 1.93. So you can imagine the expected goals was higher than ours because our expected goals was I think 0.88, but they had a high expected goal. So their finishing was quite poor today because Mo Salah had no joy at all in this particular match. So Gakpo scores that equalizer, and you think now when the game is poised at 1-1, it's 63rd minute, it gets to the 70th minute, it gets to the 80th minute, and you think, oh, Chelsea, can we just defend this draw and get away with a point? But Chelsea had a different plan because they kept going and kept going and kept going even in extra time. And behold, Estêvão Willian gets the winner for Chelsea against the champions of England, Liverpool. And Chelsea go home with all the 3 points. What a fantastic night for Chelsea. Chelsea fans, man. This was beautiful. Now, when we talk about performances, I mean, let's start with the defense because we had quite a beautiful clinic, especially in that first half from Benoit Badiashile and Josh Achimpong. It was surprising how these two were able to manage the attacks that kept coming from Liverpool. But unfortunately, both of them were taken out injured, but we hope nothing serious. Now, when we move to midfield, Moises Caicedo had a clinic. I mean, he controlled that midfield, and even the first goal was obviously from Moises Caicedo, but even the second goal, the build-up that brought in the second goal for Estêvão Willian came from a diagonal pass from Moises Caicedo to, I think it was Romeo Lavia. Then no, it was Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella down the Jamie Gittens route. Then Enzo Fernandez. Then Marc Cucurella again. And Estêvão Willian, what Estêvão Willian did in that finish is history. And let me tell you guys, the most beautiful thing that I have learned in this particular match is the mentality of this Chelsea team right now. Because the Chelsea team came in this match wanting to win the game. They came to win the game. They came to collect the 3 points. And it's understandable because if we didn't win this particular match, we would go to the international break in position, I think 9. We would go to the international break in position 9. And being the world champions, it's not a beautiful place to be. So the grit that was in this particular team when they came into this match, thinking that no matter what, we keep going for the 3 points, because normally you expect when you're against the champions of England, you are a Chelsea team, you're 1-1, you know the attack is quite strong. You probably defend a little bit to hold on to that 1 point rather than lose it. But the Chelsea players did not want 1 point. They wanted the 3 points. So they kept going in the 80th minute, kept going in the 85th, in the 90th, in the 95th, all through. They kept going to get that wing, and you could see the celebration that Enzo Maresca did after that Estêvão Willian goal went in. The celebration that, of course, it costed Enzo Maresca a red card because he was red carded for that celebration. But you could see what it means for Enzo Maresca, because the message that he drilled into these players was to go for the 3 points no matter what, to keep going and keep going and keep going. Now, let's talk about Anthony Taylor, because Anthony Taylor is a referee that has a very, 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 very poor record against Chelsea. And to be honest, tonight he had a beautiful game, except the Sobasolai yellow card. I think that was a huge mistake. But other than that, Anthony Taylor had a beautiful game today. I don't know why he was so cool. He didn't want to keep dishing out yellow cards. He didn't want to keep dishing out fouls here and there. He let the game flow, and the game was beautiful because of that. But I think the Sobasolai yellow card was the only mistake that I think Anthony Taylor made in that particular match. Now, who would be my man of the match in this particular game? Because there's Moisés Caicedo, there's Marc Cucurella, who had beautiful games. Now, I want to mention Alejandro Garnacho. Of course, he didn't do enough to warrant being a man of the match or anything like that, but he was quite a threat going forward, and that was beautiful to see. I think Alejandro Garnacho is growing into this Chelsea playing style, but one thing I want Alejandro Garnacho to improve on is the tracking back, because when you see that goal that we conceded that goal from the left side, and Alejandro Garnacho was just jogging back. He should learn what Pedro Neto does, because when you see what Pedro Neto was doing to Cody Gakpo, especially in that first half, he was not getting any breather. Even if he's going to the byline, Pedro Neto would always be with him. But when Garnacho is on the other hand, he just jogs back. I think that is the part that he needs to improve. Otherwise, I'll give Moisés Caicedo as my man of the match, and Chelsea get 3 points. We move into sixth position in the Premier League, and we go into the international break with happiness. Thank you so much for keeping it here. See you in the next one.